At 55, I often found myself in an unusual position. People mistook me for my grandson's older sister, or, on rare occasions, his mother. With my trim figure, tanned skin, and cascade of golden brown curls, I prided myself on staying young. My mornings began with yoga, followed by a brisk walk around the neighborhood, and I had an active social life, as active as a woman half my age. I wasn't just a grandmother. I was a woman determined to live life to the fullest and enjoy every moment. Life with my grandson, Ethan, was an adventure in itself. In his 20s, he was the epitome of youth, tall, with unruly dark hair and a mischievous smile. He had come to live with me after my parents divorced, and I treasured his presence. Our house was filled with laughter, banter, and the occasional generational clash. Ethan's energy often reminded me of my youth, and in him I saw a reflection of my late husband's charm and tenacity. This particular morning started out like any other. I stepped into the shower and the warm water cascaded over me, washing away the fatigue from last night's book club that had dragged on late into the night. My bathroom was my sanctuary, decorated with soft pastel colors and scented candles. The scent of lavender filled the air as I lather up my favorite shampoo, humming to myself. I had just had time to rinse the foam out of my hair when the door creaked open, breaking the calm. "Grandma, have you seen my—" Ethan's voice cut through the sound of running water, startling me. I froze, realizing the reality of the situation. "Ethan," I exclaimed, surprise and outrage mixed in my voice. "What are you doing?" "I'm in the shower." There was a brief pause. Then there was a rumble as he almost dropped something, probably his phone or whatever he was holding. "Oh, I'm sorry, Grandma. I didn't realize you were here," he stammered, his voice rising an octave. I heard the door slam shut and exhaled sharply, my heart racing. "Teenagers," I muttered to myself, even though Ethan was hardly a teenager anymore. When I finished showering, I wrapped myself in a plush towel, still flustered by what had happened, but already trying to find humor in it. After all, life was too short to dwell on such mishaps. When I came out of the bathroom, Ethan was waiting for me in the hallway, his face very red. He looked like a kid who had been caught stealing cookies from the cookie jar. "I'm so sorry, Grandma," he whispered, the words piling on top of each other. "I didn't mean to walk in on you. I was just looking for my headphones." I raised an eyebrow, unable to resist teasing him a little. "You couldn't have waited a few more minutes. The door was locked for a reason, you know that." "I thought I knocked," he said, scratching the back of his head and looking anywhere but at me. Apparently I didn't hear the answer. "Well, lesson learned," I said, crossing my arms and trying to keep a straight face. "Next time double-check before you barge in. You could have given me a heart attack." We both laughed, the tension subsiding like a burst balloon. Moments like that reminded me of how much I adored Ethan. Despite his occasional missteps, he was a kind, respectful young man with a heart of gold. I watched him grow from a curious boy into a man that my parents and I were endlessly proud of. Living with him was a reminder that family bonds are not about perfection, but about acceptance, humor, and love. Later that day, as we sat in the living room, him with headphones on his head and me with my knitting, the incident resurfaced again. "You know, Grandma," Ethan said, taking off his headphones, "you really should put a sign on your door when you take a shower. Something like, 'Do not disturb.'" I chuckled. "Or maybe you should just learn to knock and wait for an answer," I replied playfully. He smirked and we both laughed again. Those little, silly moments were what made our relationship so special. We'd been through a lot together, his parents' divorce, his transition into adulthood, and my journey of discovering myself as a woman beyond the roles of wife, mother, and grandmother. Ethan's presence reminded me that the beauty of life often lies in its imperfections and unexpected twists and turns. Over the course of the day, the morning mishap became another shared memory that we would laugh about in the years to come. Life with Ethan was unpredictable, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Being a young grandmother was challenging, but it also brought moments of companionship and humor that I appreciated more than words can express. Watching him grow up and being a part of his life is a gift that makes my 55 years seem like just the beginning of an exciting, ever-evolving story.